Anthony Mackie. What's up?
What's up, man? At this point, if it's a spoiler, if you haven't seen it, then I think you deserve to. You've already gotten all the spoilers.
Yeah, 1,000%. Look, if you haven't seen it, tune out, watch the movie, and come back here right afterwards.
Yeah.
Anthony, let's go right at it. Let's do this. Anyone that's walking out of that movie right now wants to ask you one thing. That final scene. Wow.
Yeah.
Break it down for me.
It was Marcus and McFeely, the team that wrote the movie, are really amazing, and they have a great voice when it comes to creating real moments with real people. So from the beginning, when that came up, I can't believe I'm talking about it. When that came up, it was specifically about that moment, living in time as a great movie moment. And the one thing that I hope people get that's missed is Steve got the ability to go and spend his life with Peggy Carter.
Right.
And so we're catching Steve at the end of the life that he wanted to live. He found that happiness that Tony was telling him about. So, when we went into it, we realized the gravity and the magnitude of that moment. Chris and I, and we talked about it way more than we shot it. The Russos really figured it out beat by beat. We handled it like it was a scene in a movie instead of a scene in an action movie. It was like doing Brecht or Ibsen. We were in a play, and it was really emotional. I mean, Chris is one of my dear friends. Like, I hate when people say, "Oh, that's my brother." No, he's a dear person in my life, and when I didn't even know it was happening. We were at his house in Atlanta when we were shooting, hanging out, watching football one night. And he goes, "You excited?" I'm like, "What you talking about?" He goes, "Wait, you don't know?" I'm like, "No, what?" He loses his shit, jumps up, runs out of the room, comes back in with the script. He's like, "Read it." And I read the scene, and I'm getting goosebumps. And I read the scene, and I'm like, "Whoa." He goes, "Yeah!" So it just, we cried, we drank, we laughed. It became this, this thing. Everybody, you only find out information from Kevin Feige. This is the first time somebody got information from somebody other than Kevin Feige, And I'm very happy that I got that moment with Chris for him to not only pass me the shield, but tell me what was happening in the script.
What was that night like?
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of revelry. Whatever
that is.
We've been celebrating for about 2 years now. It's because of our relationship and our history. It's just one of those things that kind of transcends the idea of this business.
Right. In that scene, I'm going to break it down. We're literally going to do a play-by-play on this. Mm-hmm. In that scene, you're a great actor, but that emotion in your eyes was very real. What was going through your head at that moment when you take the shield on board? I mean, for you, Anthony Mackie, a guy from New Orleans who's now in Hollywood in the biggest movie possibly of all time.
Well, it's for me, I've always, when I started this business, I said I wanted to do a Western and I wanted to be a superhero. Those were after that I can retire, but those are the two genres I wanted to tackle.
Yeah, be a big kid. That's what it is.
I want to ride horses and I want to fight bad guys.
Right.
And, it's funny when you actually get to live and experience your dreams coming true. It was extremely emotional. And that thank you was sincere, not only to Chris, but, there are a lot of people around me that makes my career go. There are a lot of people who were before me and contemporaries with me who haven't had the opportunities that I've had. So, it changes when something it's like being handed the Oscar for me. For Chris to be like, "Here's the shield," that's like, and Best Actor goes to.
Right.
Especially in a company of actors like this, in a universe like this with a character like that. It means a lot for my sons to be able to see Captain America as a black dude.
For sure.
That means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And for me to be that dude to my sons.
Yeah.
So that thank you, that moment was not just about, hey, we're acting. It's like, a lot of things have gone right to be 20 years in this business and for that to happen. So it was more of a thing. And then they cut, and I cried, and Chris cried, and the Russos cried, and everybody cried. And then we went back and did it again, and then I cried, and it's just it was an emotional day.
There's, I've only seen the movie once so far, just very recently. But I remember the line that he asked you, "How does it feel?" And you said, "It feels like someone else's."
Yeah.
In real life, you taking on the role now of Cap. Does it feel like someone else's role, and when will it start feeling like your own, and how do you do that?
I think once I see the suit, that's what I'm excited. I haven't seen the makeup, skiff, scabbies. I haven't seen the suit with the shoe. I haven't seen it.
Right.
So I think once I see the suit, once we start this Disney Plus series, I think then it'll be real. Now it's just like, they could recut the movie and cut me out. Who knows? But now it'll be real when I see it.
The Russos have done an amazing thing for the world, actually. I mean, Joe in the movie plays the first ever openly gay character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and now Captain America is a black man.
Captain Brother.
Yeah, Captain Brother. Well, the fact that you get to tell your friends, both black, white, whatever color they are, what's the reaction you've been getting when you get to call up your best friends for how many years being like, "Yo, by the way"?
I haven't told anybody.
For real?
I haven't told my siblings. Like, my siblings are, my closest. I haven't told anybody. I've kept it a secret. I haven't talked about it with anybody.
Who can't you wait? Because this is also a very interesting thing. For the very first time, you can actually talk about the film.
Right,
openly.
that's what I'm saying. It's crazy. Yeah.
Is it a huge weight off your shoulders? Because break it down for people. For the last 6 years, 5 years, you've had to work in complete secrecy.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. But I can't. I have a few teachers that got me through life and through school, and people who mentored me. And I feel like my greatest accomplishment will be when they see it. And some of them are just old fuddy-duddies, so they probably won't see it, but I'm gonna make them go see it.
For sure.
Just for that moment.
100%. Did you always think it was possible? If you read the comics, or you do your research, which you definitely did with Falcon, at some point in the comic books, Sam becomes Captain America, and then at some point Bucky takes on the mantle as well. 2 questions. When did you first know that was possible? Did you ever think it was possible? And hell, I'll give you a 3. Did you shoot alt scenes? Because it's you and Bucky.
We didn't shoot alt scenes. I didn't think it was possible. To be honest, look, Chris, Sebastian and I, we have a lot of fun when we work together. When we work together, we hang out and we have a lot of fun. So I never thought about the idea of not doing this without the two of them. And Chris is a great Captain America. So I'm like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
I love Sam Wilson. I love being the Falcon. Let's hang out. Let's drink some mint juleps and let's shoot another one. So I never saw the universe expanding and evolving the way it has, with RDJ being who he was to the universe and to no longer, be there, and, Scarlett to be who she was in the universe. And, it's a lot to possess. It's a lot of information to take.
Was Chris, as a friend and on a personal level, was he ready to give it up?
Yeah, I mean,
and how do you know that? And
we talked about it.
Okay,
we talked about it.
Where was his mindset at?
Well, Chris is an artist, and
why do you smile when you say it?
Because people would never describe him as an artist, but when you talk to Chris is a highly intelligent person, and he has dreams and aspirations. He wants to direct. He wants to produce and do, humanitarian work and things like that you don't really have time to do when you take on a moniker of something of this proportion. So, he is into that next phase of his life. There's, as a man, when you reach a certain age and you have a certain modicum of luxuries, then you want to work on that personal side. Right. Chris is very family oriented. He, is just, there's certain things that next phase of your life that he's ready for. It's been 10 years. And now he has his hand on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
It's a whole different ball game now.
It's a whole game changer.
It's a whole different ball game.
It's funny
now.
that you say that. Every cast member has always told me, you know, what people don't understand about him. You went to Juilliard, but he is Juilliard.
Yeah.
He is the singing, dancing theater guy, right?
Yeah.
We don't see that side.
You don't see that. You don't see that. But
what's he like behind the scenes? Break that down.
He's a nutball. I mean, we're on set laughing, joking. We have dance contests. You know, it's just he's that dude. Like Chris would definitely break out in some musical theater jams. All like that's just he's an artist.
It's you know, you guys are such close friends, but I would normally ask this, but I feel like, I don't know if you guys were probably too drunk when you had this conversation, but what was the advice, if any, that he gave you about taking on the role of Captain America?
The big thing that we talked about was just, you know, being aware of what comes with that, being in that space.
Go on.
You know, I'm a very private person. I'm a very, I isolate myself a lot. I don't live in the Twitterverse, you know, and a lot of times there's certain things you have to do for fans, not because you want to, but because you've taken on this role, you know. So there are certain civil liberties that you have to give up, you know, in order to appease a certain group or a fan at times when you might not want to. So just being open and responsive to the fans that allow us to do what it is we love to do.
I've said it a few times, there are very few movies where you can describe it. It's not a movie anymore, it's a religion.
Yeah.
You can apply that to like Star Wars, and you can definitely apply that to the MCU.
Yeah.
With that comes fanaticism.
Yeah.
And therefore the flip side of it, like you've got someone like me who's super excited to see what comes forward, but you've got people who are so tied in to Cap that there's going to be, because you're not the one to mess with. That's it, you know, let's call it how we see it. Chris may turn the blind eye. He may turn the other cheek. You're not going to. Are you prepped for that side of things?
I am. I think I am. I would hope that I don't know. It's, you know, it's an interesting world that we live in. And I always tell people, you know, we're men. Be respectful, you know. And as men, we know what it means to be respectful.
Right.
When you're not respectful, it's a different conversation.
Yeah, don't lose yourself on my couch.
It's a,
you know what I mean?
It's a different.
Behave yourself.
It's a different conversation.
So go on, let's get further into this. What does that mean for the character now that, you know, Sam is Captain Sam? Like, what do we even call him? Like, what's the deal?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know how, like, you know, I went in with Nate Moore, my friend Nate Moore, who's producing, and Kevin Feige, and, you know, I don't know. They're like, we don't know. And that's what the whole evolution of the character is now. You know, how does he make that transition? Because with Sam Wilson, it's very different because, you know, he was a soldier. He was a vet. You know, he was a counselor for soldiers with PTSD. He was a family man. You know, we need to see that transition from who he was to who he becomes. You know, no one really knows. You know, what I didn't want was for me to get the shield from Cap, and then the next movie I show up and you just see me in some pimped out suit with a shield. It's like, what happened between that? You know, and that's what I'm so interested in seeing now. How do we build that to the next film?
And that's also the trick why these movies are so successful, is the shading of the characters.
Right. And what you don't want to do is an origin movie. Those are hard and they never work. People say they work because they know the next movie is coming. But, you know, the least successful Marvel movie was Captain America.
Yeah.
Because it was an origin movie.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, oh, well, I don't like that one. But it's still, pound for pound, a really good movie.
Yeah.
You know, but it was an origin movie, so you had to give all that backstory. So then Winter Soldier comes and you're like, oh, Cap is here now. So you don't have to give all that backstory.
Right.
So origin movies are hard. That's what you don't want.
In the movie, time travel becomes a key part. Let's time travel for a second. Let's do regression therapy. I'd love to go back to the day that you auditioned for Sam Wilson, AKA Falcon. How many years ago was this? And do you remember the audition like it was yesterday?
Well, it's funny because it wasn't an audition.
What was it?
It was this hotel on, what is that, Wilshire? Over by Century City. This dope little hotel. I had lunch with Nate Moore and the Russo brothers. And I walk in, boom, boom, not knowing what I'm meeting
Where
about.
were you in your life at that point?
This was 2012.
So post-adjustment bureau.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's around there.
Bureau,
The world
after Hurt
knows
Locker.
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah. I was known enough.
You're making moves.
I could come out here and get a free dinner. So I walk in and they're at the table.
Just not anywhere nice. That's
Nowhere nice. But if I go to Roscoe's, I'm gonna have to take a few pictures. That's what it was.
Of course, right. Now you can own Roscoe's.
But if I go to Catch, I'm gonna have to buy some stuff.
Right, there you go.
Wait for a table. So I go in. It's the Russo brothers and Nate Moore, and they just nondescript, so ambiguously described to me what it is they were interested in and if I was interested in it. I'm like, well, what's the character? They're like, well, we can't tell you. So when are we shooting it? We can't tell you. So what movie would I be in? We can't tell you. But if we ask you, would you do it? Yeah, all right, I'll do that. I'll take a gamble, But by this time, the funny thing is I had been asking Marvel to be in one of the movies for about 5 years. I had always wanted to be in that universe and in those films.
Superhero and cowboy.
Yeah, superhero and cowboy. So, I have been emailing different people randomly, like, hi, my name is Anthony Mackie, I'm the black dude from the Hurt Locker, what up, doe? Literally, that was the email I was sending to Kevin Feige. And, and finally, he was like, I think it was Iron Man 2. We got a response like, yo, thank you, stop emailing us. All right. And then we get a call to meet with the Russos. And it worked out.
So that's something they don't teach at Juilliard. Persistence is key.
Find emails. Send obnoxious emails.
And hustle. Listen, you've suited up as Falcon six times. Six times. Starting with Winter Soldier, which is actually one of my favorites. What's that? What's the one thing? Wait, does the new Cap have wings?
I don't know.
You don't know. So
I literally have not seen anything.
Because suiting up, you're always flying, and I know that the Russos, they told me recently that they've always tried to make those suits super comfortable. It can't be that comfortable.
No.
What do you mean? Walk us through, because especially in the most recent film, you're whipping around.
Right.
So how's...
It's nothing is comfortable. Start there. I'm hoping I get the red spandex suit. That's always been my goal. I don't know if it'll happen. Maybe it will.
Just putting it out there.
Just putting it out there, red spandex. But no, we don't really know. I mean, the suits are never comfortable, and we shoot mostly in Atlanta. So you have on my suit is maybe a 6-7 piece suit. And it's, about 30, 35 pounds. So you're lugging that around in 100-degree heat on an asphalt tarmac every day. You're literally sitting there pouring buckets of cold water over your head. It's painful.
They told me that Vision once got stuck up there. And what was the story?
I wasn't there. I heard about it. He has the worst, because he has to do 4 hours of makeup just from here up, just to make his head purple. Right. Everything else is the suit.
Right.
But he has the worst of the worst. I would definitely ask to get killed off if I was Paul Bettany.
I guess mission accomplished. Listen, the fight with Thanos is over, but you don't get to hang up the suit just yet, because things get even more exciting for you, because actually, Marvel now enters a whole new realm. Right. We've had the movies, but now for the first time, we're getting a real MCU spin-off.
Right.
Is it fair of me saying that's the first time?
I guess all of them. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
It's all I know about this so far, it's Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Right.
It's going to be a TV show.
A series.
A series. It's going to be Disney Plus. Mm-hmm. Tell me more.
I don't know.
Come on.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't read anything. I haven't seen a new suit. I haven't seen anything. It's basically, what I'm guessing, Bucky and I going off on a whirlwind adventure to save the world and find life after Captain America.
What do you think it is about your character and Bucky, played by Sebastian Stan, that they noticed as something special to take it in the direction of a TV show?
We don't take ourselves too seriously. I make fun of him. He makes fun of me. We have this genuine, when you like somebody so much, you can joke about not liking them.
Yeah.
That's our relationship. And we literally just sit around and prank each other and make fun of each other all day. That's pretty much it.
All day.
All day.
Because there are so many great scenes between both of you. Because it's an interesting relationship,
yeah, our
right?
relationship is a TV show. We're like the odd couple. That's our real relationship.
Walk me through, from a character actor perspective, you're, in the very beginning, you were very guarded against Bucky and the Winter Soldier. He wasn't a very nice guy.
Right.
And now
he was killing people.
He was killing people. I remember that bit where you both kind of fall on the floor and go, "I hate you." That's one of my favorite. That's a great line. How has that evolved? And, talk to me about the evolution of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Well, it's basically turned into, a trust, a hate to trust relationship. I've seen him come full circle with the character and not being the villain that he was, and also being weary of him possibly going back to that, which might be a storyline in the Disney Plus.
Yeah, because he's almost
series.
like, you do that thing from Get Out, and all of a sudden he regresses.
All of a sudden he's killing
don't
everybody.
Drink tea around that guy. Yeah.
So, it's one of those things where we've grown and evolved together. I've grown into the MCU because at first I was very, guarded and not knowing what my role was as a character, and then it built alongside Captain America. So his is the same way. So we've become, kind of cohorts now. It's funny, there's so much footage that they didn't put in, like when we were shooting the bug scene, we're getting out of the bug and he's in the back seat. So I jump out, I lock the door, and I close the door. He's locked in the bug, and everybody's like, "Where's Sebastian?" Where? He just couldn't get out. So that's kind of our relationship.
Look, you're a humble dude, and you get to go on set and work with quite possibly one of the most talented lineup of actors, real deal, A grade. Is there an actor out there that you've learned a lot from through the process of making these movies that has made you a better actor?
Don Cheadle. I started acting because of Don Cheadle.
Right?
Yeah. I started acting because of Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle did this movie called Rebound, and if you haven't seen it, he plays Earl the Goat Manny Goat, and it is one of the best performances of all time. And one of my first jobs out of school, I understudied Don Cheadle off Broadway.
Yep.
So he's always been that constant peg in my career that I go back to as it evolves. And watching him on set, watching how smart he is and how manipulative he is with his craft as an actor, it's really, he's just really, really smart. And I've never seen anybody be able to use language in a way to make you say the lines that he wants, in the way that he wants you to say.
Okay, sorry, tell me more. So this I need to understand.
So it's, for an example, so we're on set and we have the scene where we're all around the table and, we're walking around and we're talking about the Accords. Right, and everybody's trying to figure out, what makes sense. Us in real life, how do we feel about the Accords, this, that, and the third. And Don comes in, and he's constantly on Twitter. Like, he's just tweeting, like, bombs every 5 seconds. And he gets off his phone, and he looks up at us, and he was like, why don't we let's just do it. And, you can tell. So we go through it, and he's kind of delivering his lines in a way that, because acting is like tennis. It's all about the initiation and the response. So he's initiating his lines in a way that you have to respond in a certain way. If somebody's yelling at you, that brings a certain emotion out of you.
Yeah.
If somebody's whispering to you, it would be weird for you to sit there and yell at them because you rehearsed at home that you're supposed to be crying. So he's, he has this really energetic, easy approach of how he works and how it manipulates you into your performance. I've just never seen anything like it.
He's special. Who did you mentor Like, for example, if Don Cheadle's your mentor, who did you, because it's a young cast too, and
Right.
whether it's old or young, you've got more experience in your little finger than a ton of people in the world. You've been doing this a long time.
Well, I think
so. Who did you kind of like help in scenes?
we put Tom Holland through a bullying mentoring experience.
you hazed Tom Holland? What do you mean?
Like, don't think you're just gonna come in here because you Spider-Man, homie. Nah, we're gonna lock you out your trailer. Nah, we're gonna fill your car with styrofoam. Nah,
What'd you do?
done.
Because this is a problem. You can be pranked by regular people. You guys are rich, so the pranks go to a whole other level. What was your favorite moment hazing?
No,
Tom?
we didn't. The hazing is a whole nother level of events for us. But it was more so, when he first got there, Tom was a young dude.
Yeah.
We all knew who he was. We all liked his work. He was a young dude. So him coming on the set can be very intimidating. So, a few of us pulled him to the side and was like, look, congratulations. You're here because you're supposed to be here, because you deserve to be here, and enjoy it. Enjoy it. Bring your family around, have your friends around, bring your brother around, enjoy it. You're a part of the MCU family now. We all know each other. We know each other's kids. We know each other's spouses. We know each other's parents. We're friends. So I think once he fell into that, it became a easy ride for him. But at first he was just wide-eyed.
I know that the Russo shoot kind of chronologically, they like doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore your scene with Cap at the very end marks a bigger picture for everybody else.
Yeah.
What was emotion like on that final day or that final scene for everybody, not just you and Chris?
The big thing for us, the emotional day, was the funeral. That was because everybody was there. We were all standing there and we're all talking, laughing and joking in between takes. And we all realized that scene was marking a whole nother event in cinematic history when that little reef floated out in the river. It was, and we couldn't talk about it or in any way, shape or form acknowledge it, but everybody was there, even Robert was there. So I think that scene, that day, was the most unique as far as shooting all of these movies. And we shot it much later.
Right.
We shot that like a year and a half later than the initial photography. So I think that was the most, and at that point, they brought in Brie. Nobody really knew how Captain Marvel was folding into this. It was, it was just amazing to be able to stand on set and be like, yo, that's Michael Douglas. That's Michael Douglas. Say what's up to Michael Douglas. No. Say what's up to Michael Douglas. Like that was the whole fight. Like, how do you get, introduce me to Michelle Pfeiffer. What? Introduce me to Michelle Pfeiffer.
That's the one. That's the one, yeah.
So me and Chris and I, we're laughing and joking. I'm like, yo, go up to Michelle, say, what's up, tell her I'm Anthony. Tell her. She's like, oh, okay, all right. So we go up. Hey, Miss Pfeiffer, hey, how's it going? This is my friend Anthony. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. It's dope. Can I take a picture, please? It was like that. It was fun.
Listen, the whole cast, I'm in love with the whole cast. We want to know a little bit more about them and not their characters.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you a couple of situations and you're going to tell me which person you would call first.
Oh, boy.
You down?
Okay.
All right. Okay. You've got a late call time tomorrow. You've got a night out.
Oh.
Who do you call to babysit the kids?
Oh, that's hard. You know what? Paul Bettany.
Okay.
I trust that dude. He's British. I trust that dude.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, English literature classes.
And he wears ascots. So any dude that wears an ascot can watch my kid.
Even when he's not on the set of A Beautiful Mind, he's wearing ascots?
Yes.
That's his thing?
Yes.
Yo, he's so
We went to
British.
dinner a few weeks ago in New York. He showed up in an ascot. I'm like, what are you doing, man? People can't see me having dinner. You're wearing an ascot. Take your ascot off.
I might have to bring that back.
Yo.
Who would you not call to babysit your kids? Who cannot be trusted in your house babysitting children?
I would not call Chris Evans to watch my kid.
He'd have him doing like theatrical performances.
I've seen him with his nieces and nephews. Him and my boys something would break it out. Something would catch on fire.
All right, this is a cool one. You get in a situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some dudes, they want to fight. They've got a problem with you being Captain America. Who's the first person you call to have your back?
Oh, Batista.
Yeah, by the way, I told you.
He's the biggest human, nicest guy. the biggest human I've ever met.
He's a monster.
Oh, dude. We were on set and he was trying to teach Tom how to do like this jump thunder punch thing. And he did it. And he moved the set. Like everybody thought he had just knocked the wall down. First call.
I love how like there's a move called the thunder punch.
I don't know what it is. It was a jump kick punch thing, but it looked like it hurt.
Yeah, and here's the thing. He's a nice dude, but when his face just goes normal, it reminds you clench.
Man.
Yeah.
Man.
All right, you're in a dance competition, big money prize. You need a partner. Who are you calling?
So I would have to say, not Sebastian.
Why? He's a terrible
the worst
dancer.
dancer of all time.
How bad? Like real?
Dude.
Not even a two-step?
3 left feet and 1 right hand. Awful. It would have to be Tom or Chris. Chris is a good dancer. He does that white dude who took a hip hop class at his gym
Right,
thing.
I know the
He
type.
do that well.
Yeah,
that
sure.
Justin Timberlake stuff, he can kill that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
There's a lot of NSYNC running through his veins.
Exactly.
All right, bad day. Who do you call for relationship advice?
Ooh,
Who's got
Kobe
the-
Smulders. Done.
That was real quick.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, because she's like a I feel a love whisperer. When you see her, it's just like calming. She's like chamomile tea, dude. There's something about her that just exudes like woman. You know what I mean? Like she's just like Mother Earth.
Something went down. I'm not gonna say who. I'm not gonna say what. But there's a body.
Oh.
Which castmate do you call to help with the disposal? This is someone who's ride or die, not gonna ask any questions, is just there for you.
That's hard. That's hard. That's hard. Ooh. You know what? I would call Sebastian to get rid of a body.
Sebastian?
Yeah, I would definitely call Sebastian to
He
get rid
wouldn't
of a
fold
body.
under questioning?
Nah, he'd show up. I've called him for much worse things and he showed up.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Those New York nights, man. Those
Everyone
New York
tune
nights.
in to Falcon and Winter Soldier, coming to true crime
Those
stories
New York
with you.
nights.
Look, that's the end of the game. Thank you so much. We got to ask you, Anthony Mackie, now that you're Cap on your big ass screen at home, what do you watch? What are you into? Are you into the same shows as all of us?
Well, I'm not I just started season 1, episode 1 of Game of Thrones. One of my good friends, Brian Cogman, is a writer-producer, and I've held out for 8 years, and now just out of respect, I'm gonna try.
And what do you think so far?
I can't do dirty white dudes and women in corsets. I can't do it. That combination just instantly turns me off.
You mean ugly, like the way that they look?
Yeah, just
And
dirty.
Because you can do women in corsets.
I can't do women. I would rather just go watch Gladiator. You know, I can't do it.
What is it about it that just irks you?
It bothers me every time. And I've only seen 1 episode.
Yeah.
I know what's coming. Because when you see that time period and it's dirty white dudes, the same thing happens. My lord, I'm going to take this kingdom and I'm going to make love to my sister. And I'm like, the little peasant dude is like, bro, you can have any woman in the kingdom, but my sister. But my lord, there are 1 million women at the gate calling your name. But my sister. I can't get with that. I can't. I don't get it. I don't get it. It irks me, man. Leave your sister alone. Let her live.
And what's crazy is there's like 4 seasons of that.
You have all these beautiful peasant women out there. Go have a peasant bacchanal.
I don't even know what a bacchanal is, but I'm in. You don't, because that's what everyone will tell you. Everyone will go and say, what does everyone say about Game of Thrones? It is the greatest show on television.
Everybody says it's the greatest show. And then I heard they got dragons, man. I'm just like, come on. I'm gonna go back. If this don't work out, I'm gonna start The Wire over again for the 5th time. And then, I'll do my nightly ritual of watching Golden Girls till I fall asleep.
Okay, I like that you said that show's got dragons when we've just watched the movie that had this thing. So I don't know, pick your sides. All right, what's the second TV show or movie that you're super psyched for?
I'm really excited for Eddie Murphy's doing Coming to America 2.
Yes. Is that actually happening? Because Eddie's promised things before, has not delivered.
I am actively trying to get in this movie.
You're emailing?
I'm emailing, dog. I'm
emailing?
sending pigeons. I have connections to Eddie. So I'm sending word through all of my connections like, yo, Anthony Mackie is the new Captain America. Slipped him a DVD.
No, put it out. Eddie loves this show, actually.
That's what I'm saying.
He constantly tunes in. Put it out there. What would you like? Because we know the story back to front.
I know every line from the movie. I watch the movie once a week. I know the movie.
So go on, what are you thinking? Where do you think you could fit into it?
I don't know what the story
we know that
is.
Eddie's playing himself, and there's also rumors that he'll be playing the bad guy as well.
So this is what I heard. So Prince Hakeem slept with one of the women from the nightclub. They went out that night, and he had an illegitimate child he didn't know about. The illegitimate child comes back and is like, you're my father. So he comes back to America to meet his illegitimate child. That's the storyline I heard. I don't know if it's true, but I'm pretty sure I can be the illegitimate child's friend. I can be working at McDowell's. There's something in there. There has to be something. I can be the bus driver or the cab driver when they first get back.
Because where's Eddie at right now in age? He's not James Earl Jones level of age,
No.
He's 40s.
He's dad. See, James Earl Jones is grandpa.
Yeah.
Eddie is dad.
Yeah.
I'm definitely son age.
For sure.
I'm definitely son age,
You're
dog.
there.
You know what I mean? I clean this up.
Cool.
I clean this up, cut this down. I'm an easy 26.
Favorite line from Coming to America?
The royal penis is clean, Your Highness. Come on, that's the best line of all time.
All right. It comes up from the water. It's brilliant. All right. Let's go for one more. TV show or movie? What are you excited for?
Bad Boys 3.
Yes, listen, me and you.
Yeah, come on, man.
I like how you come here, you show respect, you pick the right watch list. Go on, Bad Boys 3. I put Bad Boys 2 as one of my favorite action movies of all time.
100.
Everyone wants to be like Mike.
All day, all day.
Okay, so let's break that down. When we first saw Mike Lowry,
Playboy.
I'm just like, who's cooler than him?
And my thing is, that Ferrari chase sequence over the bridge.
In the 360, yeah.
Dude, I'm like, that was one of the most amazing things to this day. When I go back, because the movie's always on TV. When I go back and watch that chase sequence and Martin shoots up the dashboard.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, bro, you're in the Ferrari. First of all, you're a cop. You're on a car chase. Don't drive your Ferrari.
Yeah, don't hate the player, hate the game.
Get in your Crown Vic. Chase him in the Crown Vic. Get in the P71 and Crown. Don't shoot up the Ferrari.
In your baby blue Ferrari.
Oh,
you know
don't
another
do it
great
to the
scene?
Ferrari.
Bad Boys 1, that final scene where that's how you drive.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then the
That
Porsche.
right at the end?
Yeah. There are so many classic moments in those two movies. And the thing is, Martin and, when the son comes over to meet his daughter.
How old are you, Reggie? What's your name? Reggie. How old are you? 14? You look.
You ever make love to a man? You want to?
And he's like waving the gun around. Yeah, with the bottle in his hand. Honestly, that is how all parents should meet
You
the guy.
cannot beat that. You cannot beat that.
So how do they beat that, right? For example, I know for a fact that the reason they've been waiting for, I'll say it, Bad Boys 3 is like Martin got a little chubby. So he's back in, from the pictures I've seen, he fits into his suit again, and they both look good.
Yep. Will stays in shape.
Will stays in shape. That guy's aging phenomenally well. Michael Bay's not attached. Right. So it's going to be a whole other person on there. What can we hope from that movie?
My thing is that I've worked with Michael Bay. Michael Bay, it was funny to me because every time you watch the movie, Michael Bay made Will Smith look like a movie star. He's pound for pound a movie star. But Michael Bay has a way of shooting you to make, when we did Pain and Gain, when I watched the movie, I was like, yo, I look good.
Love that movie.
I look good, And when he shoots the Victoria's Secret stuff, I'm like, I don't even like skinny chicks. I'm like, those chicks look good, And everything he shoots, he just has a way of making it look beautiful. So I'm interested to see whoever is directing it, how they bring that same thing in. The scene with Will Smith with the guns, his jacket flowing with the sun, the beautiful sky. Come on, man, you
Best
can't.
scene, the running across the rooftop that ends finally with those two on the ground and him getting up with both of them.
Yep.
And the camera.
You can't beat it. You can't
can't.
beat it. So I'm interested to see if they keep that same vein, that same style and look. You know, I'm excited about it.
Listen, my man, listen, I'll put this out there. You can come back here anytime you want. You would be one of my favorite guests. I'm so happy for you because this is now, you were doing great up until now. Now it's about to step into a whole new gear.
We'll see. 20 years in, this is when I get to sit in the office behind a desk and chill.
Yeah, the next Kevin Feige right here. No, listen, Anthony Mackie, congratulations on everything, my friend. Come back anytime. It's been great to have you here. Avengers Endgame is in theaters everywhere right now. Check out more interviews with awesome stars like Anthony over at imdb.com/show.